After a break, I'm again here with you, and today I have found a new toy. Actually, it's not a new toy, but it's something new in Databricks. So welcome back to Databricks. And in Databricks today we're gonna see how to use Databricks. It's going to be a very simple ABC of Databricks, fundamentals of Databricks, Community Edition. So once you've created your account on Databricks Community Edition with your email, you log in, and then what you do, you click on what you can do, you go to the workspace, and you're gonna see blank. You click on next, the new, and then you go to the notebooks. Here you're not gonna find any data. So in order to get the data, you go to catalog. You're not gonna see any data, therefore you're gonna go to create table, and here it's gonna open a new folder, a new window for you. So you can actually upload the data and use the data that you already have here or from S3, or you can just drop files and upload here. I will share with you a link from Kaggle that with the data, which is about 8 gigabytes. It's like e-commerce data showing the behavioral data of the users, and it's going to look like, I'm gonna show you right in a second, it's going to look like this one here. 1 2 3 1 2 3, okay, like this. So you have event time, event type, which is going to be view, purchase, or card, product ID, category code, brand, price, user ID, and user session. We're going to do simple calculations. For example, this one here, we don't need anymore to look at this because it was getting the data set. So df, how it works. If you know SQL, it's going to be very easy for you to follow. And if you don't know SQL, please learn it, because SQL is needed in every single work that you're going to do in a data related work. And basically we are getting the data frame here. It's not the most interesting part. What we're interested to do is to find the products that are most viewed and purchased. We're going to see what is the session duration and frequency per user. We're going to see the conversion rate, and if we have time, we might see also these two. Well, so we're going to import the functions, SQL functions, from SQL functioning everything. Why we need this? Because some of the calculations are void if we don't have those. So we are calculating now, grouping by event type, then counting the everything. Like in the SQL, it would look like select event type, and then you're going to say and count everything, right? So basically this is the first question. What's the which products are the, not which products, this is which event type is mostly present in our dataset. We actually can do just a df count, and it should give us the value of this. So 6,000, 7,000, 14,000 plus 48,000 is going to be more than 60,000. Let me show you this here tag order by. We don't need order by, just show me how it's going. So as you recognize here, show is to show you the final result, count is for counting, and if you used R, if you remember R, integer doesn't have the integer doesn't have the show, just count it and say as well. So in R, if you remember, there was a pipe something, I don't exactly remember how was it, but in order to apply a function in R, you were doing like let's apply count, and then let's apply group by, and so on. And the similar ideas here. We're now applying to df account, and then we are grouping by, and so on and so forth. 503, no, what is it? 5 million. Sorry, it's not 5 million. 3 and 3, yeah, the 5 million observations in our dataset. So we do the group by and counting and ordering by count and showing it. But why my calculation did went wrong? All right, so it's not 40,000, it's 4 million actually. That's why we got only 5 million. Okay, because yeah, now it's okay. That's now I understand why it didn't sum up to 60,000 something. Instead we got 5 millions, because it was 4 millions, not 40. Sorry. So this is the calculating. Let's just give the name to this cell, description of the cell. It's a good practice to always leave a comment for your for the codes that you're writing, right? User event type distribution, and then we can do the same for the category code. The idea is the same, just the one more thing that we added is the descending. Here also we can add descending, going to be ordered by descending, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense to have the order by without descending. Then what we can do to find the top 10 users ID bus stations, we are interested which users are doing the most contribution and are visiting our website the most, and so we go grouping by the user ID. Then there's one aggregation here in which we are doing the count distinct and ordering by and so on. Everything like in SQL, because we have imported the SQL functions from the PySpark. So it would be like selecting user ID, and then we're doing the count distinct and so on and so forth, as it was SQL. The next one is interesting because we're seeing actually here, we're actually converting here. This one is the conversion. We're converting to the timestamp, and then what you're doing, what is the average session duration per user. So we are actually importing the window function, and if you remember in the SQL, there's a window for doing partition function on SQL. So it's very similar, and we do here partition by user ID, and then we are ordering by event time, and in order to get the sequence of the user ID and events, not events, let's say the time by the user session, right? Yeah, so then we are getting actually the next event. We're creating the next event, and the basically next event is the lead, which is going to give you the next observation, and in the end we're doing the next observation minus the event time, which is going to be event time of the current observation, and this is going to give you the session duration. And when you get the average of the session duration, it's going to give you the value. It's 131 seconds for each session. It's kind of 2 minutes. Every user is spending 2 minutes. Not user, every session by user is 2 minutes. So then what we do is the event count. So we're interested in which events are counted the most, and after we are using this event counts. We are just calculating the count of events by event type. Okay, and then we are filtering out here the events which are the views and which are purchase, and in the end, purchase count divided to view count is going to give us the conversion rate. It's 1.52% is a conversion rate, and I'm so interested what is the total the number of the distinct users. We did that calculation somewhere here. I don't exactly remember so we did for user section, but I'm interested in how many users actually we have the user ID here. Okay, let it be all right, let it be the an exercise for you. Just do it for yourself for curiosity. The user ID count distinct. So then what we do, some visualizations. So what is distribution of the behavioral distribution when the price is going to, if the price is going to change, or whether it's going to have an effect on distribution throughout the event type. For example, we see that the larger distribution standard, the variance in the view and purchase are a bit larger than in the cart, and the cart products are sometimes costly rather than the purchase and view. It might be a first initial signal that you might go and find and investigate it. Then what is interesting here we are seeing is the in the funnel data. So what is the drop off rate from the view and purchase? I just did this experiment and experimented that if you go from view to purchase, and if you drop meanwhile, what's going to happen. Anyways, that was the main idea that I wanted to show you with you, how Databricks works, and if you want to use PySpark to work with the huge datasets, and you can actually share these, and if you click on publish, you can publish in it, and it says that it's gonna be valid for 6 months, and the notebook is gonna be published publicly, and you can share the link to this notebook. That which I think is cool. Other thing that I find very cool here is that you can select working in whichever out of these the query language and statistical languages. To do so, you can just select from here, or if you at the beginning is you write percentage and SQL, for example. So it's going to become a SQL cell. When you look at interface, you're gonna see here the table of contents, and basically this one is for writing your content. For example, if I add here a description, description. If you're working with Git repositories and you add the README file, that's basically the same markdown that you can use. And yeah, here you have your workspace, you see your notebooks, and you have the catalog, and you see here data that you have. Usually you will have under the Hive meta store some data, and if you want to work with something like New York taxes and create some models in machine learning, you can also create this kind of a model, because I think it's very interesting data set. You have a pickup time, you have a drop off time, and you can calculate what is the pickup and drop off, and you have the zip, which is going to be helping you with the geographical data. So that would be nice to have in portfolio, the New York taxi. So see you again next time, and I promise I'm not gonna disappear for a long time. I mean, I will try.